Some people think these are better than Kobe's, and today we're gonna review them and put that to the test. Let's start off with traction. The Way of Wade 808.5s feature the GOAT of all traction patterns in the herringbone traction pattern. For those who don't know, this is literally the most reliable and consistent traction pattern you could ever throw on a basketball shoe. If it was up to me, I'd put a herringbone traction pattern on every single pair of basketball shoes. That's how good it is. But something funky about this traction pattern specifically is it's not just herringbone, it actually has flex grooves within it. Throughout the outsole, there are these flex grooves that are integrated into the outsole to facilitate natural foot movement and smoother transitions during sprints or changes in pace. And the materials that make up this outsole is a combo. It's not just one material, it's two. Way of Wade's Tough RB, wonderful material, and Way of Wade's GCU or Ground Control Unit technology. To keep it quick, that Tough RB compound is a very high wear resistance rubber compound that's extremely durable, and really that's what it provides to the outsole, extreme durability. And their GCU or Ground Control Unit technology is a polyurethane compound added to the outsole that is really high performing, really durable too. And I wanna say, I think there was some sort of logic into how they integrated these materials into the outsole. I'm pretty sure they used like, again, I'm probably wrong in this, but one of the materials was on this outer layer right here, and then the other one was this inner layer, and then maybe that's the outer layer too. I don't know. There was some sort of logic and reason to why they use the different materials on the different edges. If I really feel like it, I might pop up a reason on screen, but if not, maybe I'll just put something cute right there. But overall, I'd say the materials and the traction pattern kind of stacks up to be an amazing setup. I'd say absolutely perfect for indoor use. For outdoor use, I think it would be pretty good too. But the only thing that is slightly sketchy about the outdoor use part would be that the grooves are, I'd say, extremely shallow. There are some shoes that may have a little more life to them than these, but if you wanted to use these outside, no hate to you. But I'll pop up a traction test real quick and then let's talk performance. As you can see, super grippy. That combo of herringbone, the flex grooves, the Tough RB, and that GCU Ground Control Unit technology stacks up to be one of the best traction setups that money could buy in the year of 2025. The performance on court had an absolutely insane bite, and I'd say they performed insanely consistently throughout all of my uses. Like any hoop shoe, they do pick up dust, but that's literally every single hoop shoe on the face of the planet. I wouldn't say any faster or any slower than any other shoe, but nothing a good old wipe couldn't fix. If you're anyone that really appreciates some good traction, like a quick shifty guard, a great defender, or you're just one of those dudes who's playing basketball, not getting past the ball and running up and down the court, no matter who you are, you'll appreciate this traction setup. So without glazing too hard, you know, I'll give these babies a 9.9 out of 10 in the traction department. I'm glazing. In regards to cushion, man, we're seeing something from Way of Wade that we've never seen before. For returning viewers, you guys will know that I absolutely glaze the Way of Wade Boom Cushion. Easily my favorite cushion technology on the market. But with the 808.5s, they don't feature boom. They feature what Way of Wade calls Super Boom. I think that's the equivalent of 5 big booms. Boom, 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 boom. And let me tell you exactly what Super Boom is via Way of Wade. Let me read it off to y'all. Super Boom advances boom technology with a lighter design and improved appearance. The midsole is 30 to 50% lighter with a density exceeding 0.07 grams per centimeter cubed, providing a balanced, soft, and stiff rebound for enhanced performance in diverse sports scenarios. And these babies feature a full-length Super Boom midsole, so that's all it is. And for those who didn't comprehend what I just said about the cushion technology, let me explain it to you in simpler terms. Boom is essentially a foam cushion technology, very similar to that of Nike React, Adidas Boost. You get the gist. And Super Boom is their upgraded version of Boom, which again is my favorite. That's essentially 30 to 50% lighter. Same compound, lighter. That's a win-win right there. But this material offers enhanced energy return and cushioning, aiding players in achieving quicker starts and safer landings. And in regards to the actual performance of the shoe, the Super Boom felt absolutely absurd. Being completely honest, I'd say it feels pretty much the exact same as normal Boom, just a little bit lighter, which is exactly what I think they were going for. They weren't going for an absolutely new, revolutionary, different feel. They were going for the same cushion, a little bit lighter, and I think they achieved that. And Boom is literally my favorite cushion setup. So again, this is the best setup, but slightly more upgraded, meaning it's the best on the market. But yeah, overall, this cushion setup really feels low to the ground, feels insanely lightweight alongside the rest of the shoe. No spoilers, I spoiled it. I spoiled the rest of the review. But yeah, really lightweight cushion setup, feels really nice. Impact protection's insane, bounce insane. Kind of reminds me of like what the Way 10s. I sometimes I get shit for glazing this hard, but I feel like those add more inches to your vert than Victor reinsoles because they have that bounce. These babies, same thing. For the cushion setup, one of my favorite setups I've ever used. Lightweight, feels amazing. 9.8 out of 10. Now for the support and lockdown on these babies, they feature a plethora of things to add on and make it a secure and supportive ride. So let me walk you through the lineup of all the different support features and what exactly they do. First off, they feature that carbon fiber plate that I mentioned earlier. A lightweight and high strength carbon fiber plate enhances support and energy transfer during motion, reducing fatigue and boosting athletic performance. Like I said earlier, I think the combo of the Super Boom and that carbon fiber plate, I'd say works better than a Victor reinsole. Instead, go get you a pair of Way 8085s for only $160
or $150 if you use code STASHEDHOOPER at checkout.
And something I quickly want to mention is a fun little feature. I think Way doesn't get enough love for this, but in a lot of their shoes, they add a ton of different detailing that sometimes goes unnoticed. I feel like they add more details than any other brand, and I want to show them some appreciation for that. I'll pop up a close-up on this baby, but as you can see, that carbon fiber plate is visible on the bottom of the outsole. And as you can see in this colorway, it's a red carbon fiber plate. Insanely unique, and guess what? The different colorways will have different colored carbon fiber plates. Here we can see the white colorway that Way sent over, also really clean. And this one has a purple carbon fiber plate in the bottom. And the fun thing is, not only is it a different color, they're actually different patterns inside the carbon fiber. But enough glaze, on to the next feature. Next up, these babies feature a full-length TPU chassis. I love the attention to detail, and really shout out to Way for adding so much thought and so much detail into their basketball shoes. The shoe features a full-length TPU chassis that wraps around portions of the upper, providing stability and torsional support, essentially helping prevent any rolled ankles and really making you feel secure and snug in these babies. Additionally, they feature a reinforced toe bumper. This is designed to minimize toe abrasion and impact. The reinforced toe bumper protects the foot during dynamic movements. Something very minimal, but low-key helpful. And the last thing we're really gonna go in depth about is this dynamic heel plate. The heel area features a dynamic shell design that provides outstanding heel lockdown and containment, ensuring the foot remains securely in place. There are a few other features like the funky lacing system or the midfoot strap that do help with support and lockdown, but I didn't think they were honestly interesting enough to talk about for more than a sentence or two, so there's that. But all those features come together to provide a really secure and supportive hoop shoe. For being a low/mid top, I'd say this is probably the best support you will get on a hoop shoe. But one thing I will say that I think is even more impressive is how they got the shoe to feel really secure and supportive whilst making it insanely lightweight. Sometimes when they OD on TPU and all this different technology to make you feel secure, they go OD and it might feel a little heavy on the foot, but with these babies, they feel crazy lightweight whilst also being crazy support. So shout out to them. Absolutely love the support setup. Easy 9.5 out of 10, secure and supportive. For materials, Way typically does an amazing job at choosing high quality, durable, amazing materials for optimal performance on their basketball shoes. But with these babies, I think the materials they really cheaped out on, they were really bad, and honestly, I don't recommend this shoe. Just kidding. The 808-5s feature an amazing combo of materials that feel durable, premium, and breathable. The outsole, like we mentioned earlier, is that combo of tough RB and GCU. Amazing combo that's perfect for indoors, even pretty good for outdoors. But the upper is where it gets interesting. For most of the upper, the 808-5s feature a high quality, lightweight textile material. This is the perfect base for the upper, having crazy ventilation and flexibility. In some areas, there are synthetic layer accents stacked on top of that textile base. That adds some additional support, durability, and it looks really cute. And that synthetic leather feels insanely high quality. And then to finish off the upper, there are some TPU overlays that are strategically placed throughout the upper to provide structural support and durability in the areas that need it most. So for the materials, in summary, I'd say they're ideal. I'm talking insanely lightweight, beautiful ventilation, premium materials, durable materials. That's what you want in a basketball shoe. Feels really premium, even for $160. Easy, 9.8 out of 10. Before we conclude the review, I always like to mention the fit, the weight, and the comparisons to other shoes. First, for fit, these babies fit 100% true to size. I know this is probably one of the biggest concerns, not just with the 808.5s, but Wade's in general, because anyone not living in Asia, you can't just like go into a Dick's Sporting Goods and try these babies on, because they don't have them in retail stores. But let me tell you, man, for these, 100% true to size, and for, I'd say 90% of Wade's, just go true to size. In regards to weight, I'd say that's probably the highlight of the 808.5s. One of the lightest hoop shoes on the market, if not the lightest, whilst also giving this type of performance. So if you like really lightweight shoes, you really appreciate that type of stuff, you'll absolutely love these babies. And again, if you want to get one, use code STASHEDHOOPER for 10 bucks off. And then in regards to comparisons to other shoes, I'd say these are extremely similar. Obviously, let me state the most obvious sentence ever. Really similar to the Wade 808.4s, even the 808.3s. Just, I think, upgraded. They keep doing a good job at making the shoes slightly better, slightly better, slightly better. That's super boom, as I mentioned. And then I'd also say they're similar to the Kobe 8s. They're all crazy light hoop shoes with a foam drop-in midsole, and they're all top performers. So if you really like the 808.4s or the Kobe's, you will absolutely love these babies. So in conclusion, man, to end off this review, I would say these are probably my favorite hoop shoe that's released in the year of 2025. Between the upgraded boom cushion setup, the premium upper, the secure support setup, the immaculate traction, it is just no surprise that these are one of, if not the best hoop shoes of 2025. So overall, these babies, I'll give them a 9.7 out of 10, easily making them one of the best hoop shoes I've ever reviewed. And if you guys wanna buy these babies, please use the affiliate link in the description for the best place to buy them, and 10 bucks off your next order if you use code STASHEDHOOPER. And if you guys wanna watch more of me, please check out maybe that video. I think you'd like that video. Click on that video or else you're gay.